It's time for me to go to Barhead, Morinville, Westlock.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It appears your hearing is very good this morning. So, Mr. Speaker, in response to the throne speech, I would like to present my maiden speech. I have many concerns with the approach this government is taking in response to the latest energy price shock and its consequences. This government is proposing that Albertans should try and spend their way to prosperity with deficit and debt, keep spending beyond our means, all while they experiment with an economic development strategy of a greener, more sustainable economy. This greener, more sustainable economy has proven to fail in many other jurisdictions of the world. A move to a greener energy economy, while laudable, is not going to fill the revenue shortfall we are currently experiencing. We must begin to address the large gap in our current cash flows. We currently spend far beyond our means. Mr. Speaker, I am fortunate to have lived my entire life in and now represent what I consider to be the best constituency, Barhead, Morinville, Westlock, in the best province, Alberta, which is in the best country of the world, Canada. May we always be thankful for this wonderful place we have a privilege to call our home. My constituency covers a very large geographical area. There are over 200 kilometers from one end of my riding to the other. I am very thankful for the highway system we are able to enjoy. These highways allow me to travel with relative ease to all areas of my riding. The town of Morinville is one of the oldest communities of my constituency and is found in the southeast end of my riding. It was founded in the late 1800s when Father Morin brought many French settlers to the area. They were followed by several German pioneers who together helped establish the agricultural industry in those early years. Today, Morinville also serves as home for many commuters working in Edmonton and also home for many members serving with our Canadian Armed Forces at CFB Edmonton. Mr. Speaker, travel 200 kilometers to the northwest and you will find one of the youngest communities of my constituency, Swan Hills. Although considered to be in northern Alberta, it is the nearest settlement to the geographical center of Alberta. Following the discovery of oil in September 1956, Swan Hills became the first township incorporated in Canada's centennial year of 1967. There are many other towns, villages, and hamlets that I represent, some of them being Cardiff, Legal, River Kabar, Elcomdale, Busby, Pickardville, Dunstable, Vimy, Clyde, Tuatna, Westlock, Manola, Barhead, Neerlandia, Viga, Pembroke, Dap, Jarvie, Fawcett, Flatbush, Meadowview, Thunder Lake, Tiger Lily, Fort Assiniboine, Goose Lake, and more, Mr. Speaker. All of these communities have a unique story of their own. All of them were established through the hard work and vision of individuals that came to this country in search of opportunity and the freedom to pursue their dreams. Most of my riding was established thanks to the renewable industries of agriculture and forestry. During the early years, many families worked their small farms through the summer, and the father would spend the winter months in the bush harvesting logs for sawmills located throughout the area, while the mothers and children stayed at home tending to the livestock. Today we have modern, large, medium, and small-scale farms growing diverse crops and livestock. Large farm equipment is common on many farms, but we also have smaller operations with the equipment to match. For anyone with a dream to farm, it is still possible with a little bit of ingenuity and a good business plan. The forestry industry, Mr. Speaker, has also evolved into a very well-organized operation with large equipment doing most of the work. I went out to witness an operation harvesting logs north of Fort Assiniboine last winter. Seldom is there a need for a chainsaw anymore, as the large machines fall, skid, trim, pile, and load the logs. A very impressive operation. Like so many constituencies in Alberta, the energy industry has played a significant role in helping to advance the well-being of our communities over the last 60 years. The high standard of living we enjoy today in this province, and indeed in this country, can largely be attributed to the discovery and sale of our natural resources. I believe we have been very fortunate in this province to have been blessed with this non-renewable resource. Mr. Speaker, the people that settled in my constituency did not have an easy time. In fact, many joked the government bet the $10 filing fee you would not last the 3 times 6 months required to get title of your homestead. Times were very difficult, but many people did survive through tough winters and hard slugging. The area of Barrhead, Morinville, Westlock, as we know it today, has seen many changes over the last century. The last century, a relatively short time frame. Much of what was once undifferentiated forest is now farmland crisscrossed with many roads. We have highways that have been built, giving us the ability to safely move products and people throughout my riding. I'll take you on a little drive through the riding. I'll start in the town of Swan Hills in the northwest corner of my riding. The Swan Hills town, the province decided in the early 50s that it was prudent to build a highway into the Swan Hills. The discovery of oil happened shortly after that. It was not necessarily much of a highway, it was more like a mud road. I have an uncle that delivered a lot of the supplies up into the Swan Hills work camps in the 60s and tells many stories of being towed through the Swan Hills gumbo by cat at that time. It currently enjoys a highway, and the foresight of the leaders at that time gave the possibility for Swan Hills to be developed as a very strong economy. If you travel southeast to Fort Assiniboine, you'll find a small town that was developed through the fur trading along the Athabasca River. The Hudson Bay Company established it as a post, and to this day is a very where they have many trap lines to the north of Fort Assiniboine. Traveling west and a little bit north, you get to enjoy going over the Klondike Ferry. Klondike Ferry is one of the few ferries left in Alberta currently operating, and it goes across the Athabasca River into the Vegan-Neerlandia area, which has some of the best farmland in my constituency. Neerlandia was settled as a Dutch farming community. That's the area in the province where I was born and raised. I get the pleasure of opening a new grocery store in a community that has less than 100 residents. They have a grocery store, a cooperative that will be probably one of the largest grocery stores in my riding. Travel south to the town of Barrhead. Barrhead is well known for its golf course, and people travel from all across the province to play the golf course in Barrhead. They also have a large business there, Northplex Modular Homes, developing and building modular homes to deliver throughout much of the northern part of the province. To the east, we come to the town of Westlock. Westlock is this year currently celebrating their 100-year anniversary. They have many events planned for this year. This weekend I get to enjoy one of the events from a charitable organization there, the Rainbow for the Future organization, that is raising funds to build schools and help with literacy in Ethiopia. They have done this over many years and have several volunteers that continue to go to Ethiopia and help establish economy there and help to bring education to the people of Ethiopia. Westlock is home to the Canadian Tractor Museum, a museum of well over 100 tractors, some dating over 100 years old, and is well worth the visit for anyone that's interested in taking a look at some of the history of the farming in that area. Westlock also is home to a new generation co-op that exports grain all around the world. Westlock Terminals is I believe, the largest new generation cooperative in Alberta at this time, and is proudly owned by many residents and in both the town of Westlock and in the county of Westlock, Barrhead, and Athabasca. If we go a little further east, we come to Clyde, a small village where we have a large North Central Livestock Exchange that handles many of the cattle from the northern area of the province and sends cattle all over the province for finishing and trade. When we head south from Clyde, we come to Legal, and the starts of a very francophone part of my riding. Legal is a small town that if you go to the cafe there, you can pleasantly be greeted in the French language or the English language. They're very proudly francophone community, as well as the town of Morinville. Morinville is, like I said earlier, in the very southern part of my riding, is home to close to 10,000 people. The one business that was pleased to participate in a grand opening of their new lab and kitchen for their pet foods, the Champion Pet Foods. They are a company that develops pet food in their kitchen and transport it and deliver it to over 40 countries in the world, and are very proud to be exporting all over the world. Mr. Speaker, the constituents of Barrhead, Morinville, Westlock are very resourceful people, and the people of Morinville, Westlock know what it takes to get through hard times. These people realize that sometimes hard decisions are necessary to get through difficult times. Mr. Speaker, the renewable and non-renewable commodities we harvest, add value to, and sell around the world will create the wealth necessary to provide jobs and to provide the services all Albertans need. If we manage our resources well, we will be able to supply the services Albertans need, as well as set a solid foundation for the generations that follow us. We can set the stage for our children and grandchildren to be able to thrive with as much opportunity and vision our forefathers came to this country with. If we fail to manage those resources well and continue to spend beyond our means, we will saddle the generations to come with a lifetime of debt and lost opportunity. Mr. Speaker, commodity cycles will always be with us. We are currently experiencing a low point in the price of our number one commodity, oil. What the previous government failed to recognize, and what this government needs to recognize, is that we must manage our spending based on the bottom of cycles. We can no longer spend as if oil is at the top of the roller coaster. It is a recipe for disaster. If this government truly wants to get off the roller coaster of oil, they would begin to manage their spending accordingly. It will take this government many years to develop their dreams of diversifying our economy. By the time we see any significant payback from those dreams, we may well be broke if we do not get our spending in line with our revenues. This is not rocket science. We need action now. Mr. Speaker, the speech from the throne seems to promise we will spend our way to prosperity. This is not a plan. This is an experiment, a gamble on the backs of hard-working Albertans. This government needs to get serious, get their fiscal house in order, present a roadmap for success, and get us off the road to just more deficit and debt. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.